I'm Marilee Caruso. It's Wednesday, October 29th. Today.
Series and yeah, it's Canada versus U.S., Toronto versus L.A. It's go Canada.
Winnipeggers of all stripes get behind the Blue Jays with a pivotal Game 5 set tonight. Also today, treasure hunt.
Hopefully folks have these things in their basement and they're willing to share it with us and share it with a larger community.
A Manitoba festival looks for a long-lost artifacts in basements and attics. Can you help?
We finally had the sunshine return on Wednesday. It won't be back on Thursday. Coming up, I'll show you what we could be seeing instead.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Did you ever play Ding Dong Ditch or Knock Knock Ginger when you were a kid? You know, ringing doorbells and running away? Well, 5 kids ringing doorbells in Brandon got more than they bargained for when someone answered the door. And now RCMP are assessing the status of one of its officers. With more on this curious story, we are joined by CTV's Taylor Brock. Taylor, take us through what happened.
Well, a week and a half ago, on the evening of October 19th, 5 youths were playing Ding Dong Ditch. However, at one home, a man answered the door and reportedly got into his car and started chasing after the kids. According to Brandon police, the man caught one of the youths and handcuffed her. He then took the girl to her own home in handcuffs. The mother of that girl called Brandon police to report him. It turns out that man was an off-duty RCMP officer.
Okay, Taylor, so many questions here. Was the girl hurt? Is the officer facing any charges, or is the kid facing charges? I mean, what did Brandon police have to say about all of this?
Well, the girl who was handcuffed wasn't charged with any crime, Marilee. No one reported being injured during this incident. And as for the man, Brandon police did notify the Independent Investigation Unit of Manitoba. Now, it's a provincial watchdog organization investigating complaints against law enforcement officers and agencies. It's now investigating this. In a release today, the unit is asking anyone with more information about the incident or has video footage to contact them.
Taylor, what about RCMP? What do they have to say?
Well, we reached out to RCMP headquarters here in Winnipeg. They tell us that the officer is with the Verdun detachment, which is just west of Brandon. Mounties also tell us his duty status is currently being assessed.
All right, thanks for this, Taylor. New details tonight in the attack against a Winnipeg transit driver we told you about yesterday. Police now say a youth pulled out what's believed to be a pellet gun and shot the driver in the hand during a dispute Monday afternoon. The driver was taken to hospital with minor injuries. Tactical support and canine units were sent to the area of Gateway Road and Springfield Road, but were unable to find the suspect. Anyone with information is being asked to contact police. Avian influenza has been found on 5 farms in Manitoba this month. According to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the cases were detected in commercial poultry flocks on 3 farms in the RM of Hanover and 1 each in the RMs of Bifrost, Riverton, and St. Rose. They were found between October 9th and 25th. These are the first cases detected in Manitoba since May. The exact number of infected birds wasn't released as per protocol. The animals, though, will have to be destroyed, and quarantine and decontamination measures will be put in place. The CFIA notes bird flu is not a food safety concern, and there is no evidence eating cooked poultry or eggs can transmit the virus. Winnipeg police have arrested 7 teenagers between 12 and 15 years old after a crime spree in Garden City Sunday. Police say they received reports from 6 different businesses, including fast food restaurants, retail stores, and a grocery store located on McPhillip Street and Leela Avenue. In each incident, several youths reported entering the business and causing mischief, including stealing cash and other items, along with damaging property. Police found a group of young people near Inkster and McPhillips. 7 youths now face charges of robbery, mischief, wearing a disguise, and breaching conditions. 6 remain in custody. 1 was released on an undertaking to appear in court. A Calgary-based Silica mining company has submitted another application for a project in eastern Manitoba. CO Silica had its initial license application rejected by the province last year, partly over concerns about the potential impact to water quality in the area. It says the new proposal will involve drilling fewer wells in a much smaller area. CO Silica says it's taken public concerns, government departments, and the provincial regulatory agency into account in its new proposal. A youth who was 15 years old when he violently attacked 3 vulnerable people, resulting in their deaths, has been handed a life sentence in prison. A Manitoba Court of King's Bench justice sentenced the now 18-year-old male to life in prison with no chance of parole for 7 years. The teen previously pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree murder and manslaughter in the beating deaths of Danielle Ballantyne, Marvin Felix, and Troy Bagulay in August 2022 near Winnipeg's downtown. He can't be identified because he was a youth when the crimes were committed. The defense asked for him to be sentenced as a youth, meaning a combination of 7 years in and out of custody, while Crown prosecutors argued the teen should be sentenced as an adult. The justice sided with the Crown, saying a youth sentence would be insufficient and wouldn't hold the teen properly accountable for his crimes. 3 men are facing charges following a homicide in the Interlake. Mounties were sent to a home in Mississipauistic Cree Nation around midnight Saturday for a reported assault. They found a severely injured 34-year-old man who was brought to the local nursing station but later died. Investigators believe a fight broke out at a home which culminated in him being stabbed. 3 men between the ages of 19 and 25 were later arrested and charged with manslaughter. RCMP also say a video taken from around the time of the incident may be circulating. Anyone who has it or has more information is asked to contact Grand Rapids RCMP or Crime Stoppers. The vast majority of children and youth who died in Manitoba from any cause in the past year were Indigenous. That is according to data in the Manitoba Advocate for Children and Youth's annual report, which was released today. It shows of the 206 people who died between birth and age 2, 80% were Indigenous, and a little more than half were under the age of 2. The most common cause of death was natural, followed by undetermined, which the Advocate says could include sleep-related infant deaths or suspected overdoses. The data is preliminary and may change as autopsies are completed. It's now cheaper to go and work out at an inner-city fitness center. The Sherbrooke Pool and Fitness Center currently charges $8.55 for adults. That's how much you have to pay, even if you only want to use the weight room. However, a city report says the fitness facility is dated and has accessibility challenges. So as a trial, the city is reducing daily admission rates to $3 for the fitness center for the next 2 years. City staff plan to monitor usage numbers and report back to City Council once the trial ends. All right, let's bring in Colleen Brady now and get a first look at your Skywatch evening forecast. Oh, so nice to see the sun and the rain stop, Colleen.
It was a soggy start to the week. It was a sunny midweek today. Alas, the sunshine will not be returning tomorrow. Clouds are already starting to build up, Marilee, and that's going to continue all throughout the night. There is, another low pressure system headed our way. The question is, how far into southern Manitoba is it going to reach tomorrow? I will show you that. We're also going to look, of course, ahead to Halloween coming up on the last day of October. Hard to believe. The 1st of November also kicks off our weekend forecast. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, it's 6 degrees and cloudy. South winds at 14 kilometers an hour. The pressure is dropping and the humidity is 65%. Taking a look out in traffic, very busy in Osborne Village. You can see, but traffic moving well there.
Thanks, Colleen. They're Canada's team. After the break, how Winnipeg baseball fans are getting behind the Toronto Blue Jays as the World Series continues tonight. Plus,
of course, is it enough? Well, it's never enough.
How Manitoba plans to hire more than 400 new teachers and keep the ones we already have. More local news still to come.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Only 4 months ago, NVIDIA became the first company to be valued at $4 trillion US. Today, it blew past that. NVIDIA shares climbed to a high of $207 US today. The company CEO, Jensen Huang, announced this week a plan to build 7 supercomputers for the American government. NVIDIA is a leader in the production of computer chips that power artificial intelligence. Its exponential growth comes despite U.S. export limits on what it can sell to China. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.69. West Texas Intermediate crude is slightly up to 60.48. Western Canadian Select down over $1 to 47.56. And the TSX lost 274 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Marilla Fernandez.
Market Watch is brought to you by Manitoba Blue Cross. Group health plans for any size business.
The province plans to hire more than 400 teachers this school year. That is, if they can find enough suitable candidates. The province says it's taken several steps to attract and retain teachers in Manitoba, including new teacher certificate requirements, making it easier for internationally educated teachers to get certification in Manitoba. Also, the province says it has retention strategies for French language teachers.
It's always a challenge to recruit new teachers, but we're working closely with l'Université Saint-Boniface, and they went from 65 students finishing their degree last year to 82 students this year, so there's a huge increase in numbers of new teachers to be recruited. Of course, is it enough? Well, it's never enough.
Manitoba has added 832 teaching positions since October of 2023, bringing the number of funded teacher positions to 13,900. That's up from just over 13,000 2 years ago. Game 5 of Major League Baseball's World Series goes tonight between the LA Dodgers and Toronto Blue Jays. Canadians are rallying behind the Jays, as we saw last night during the team's big win in LA.
Even more special this year for all the Blue Jays fans out there.
Roughly 300 Winnipeg Goldeyes season ticket holders viewed the game at the club's annual watch party. The parties have been a Goldeyes tradition since 2005, but last night was a first for the club, the first time a Canadian team's been on the big screen.
Not just here, but all around Winnipeg, you can just feel the excitement all over Canada having the Blue Jays in it. They haven't been in the World Series since '93, so I think people are just excited about that.
Andrew Collier, the Goldeyes general manager, is hopeful the Blue Jays buzz will encourage people to take in Goldeyes games when its season starts up in May.
To be selected to be on MasterChef Canada takes so much work, so much effort, so much energy to really hone your craft.
It's time to serve up an update on the Winnipeg chef who's a contestant on MasterChef Canada. The spotlight is next.
Spotlight sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Serena Ryder, the Merry Myths Tour.
Colleen Brady is back now for Spotlight, and here is your warning. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
Before you listen to this next story.
Marilee, if you have not yet watched the latest episode of MasterChef Canada, you will want to press mute for just a moment.
Just a moment.
And just a moment, folks. Don't go far. But in the meantime, just turn away. Just quickly. All right. Now, if you're still with us, good. Another chef is packing up their knives on Season 8 of MasterChef Canada after finding themselves on the chopping block following a team challenge.
Unfortunately, the home cook leaving us today is Daniel.
Winnipeg's own Daniel Ebanks found himself in the bottom 4 after his team struggled with a plant-based challenge. Things took a turn when his teammate used the immunity pin to save herself, ultimately sending Ebanks home. That's right.
Nice.
He tells CTV News he feels immense pride in what he was able to accomplish, and his time on the show made a big impression.
I think what I took away from the show was confidence. I don't think it changed me so much as a chef, but having professional chefs look at my food, taste my food, and appreciate my food, having other contestants compete on the same level and me being selected as maybe a standout, if you want to call it that, it just gave me the confidence to know that I am on the right track.
Ebanks says he's going to continue to share his love of cooking with the country. You can find more of his culinary creations by following Days of Daniel on social media.
And Daniel, if you're sad after this competition, Colleen and I are available to taste any of your creations.
We sure are, Daniel. Come on down.
All right, Manitoba Theatre for Young People's newest performance is provoking conversations about reconciliation.
Marilee, The Mush Hole returns to the main stage this weekend. Combining song, dance, and theater, The Mush Hole explores the lives and spirits of children forced to attend the Mohawk Institute Residential School in Ontario. Indigenous artist Santee Smith created and produced the play, pulling from interviews and writing from the school survivors. The play is recommended for children 13 and up. The Mush Hole runs this weekend and next weekend, November 1st to 9th. For tickets, visit mtyp.ca.
All right, here's a question for you. Do you have any Festival de Voyageur memorabilia, maybe stashed away in your basement or in the attic?
Great question. Well, Festival officials sure hope you do. They're collecting vintage artifacts for its museum. The museum will exhibit and showcase stories and memories. It's searching for donations of memorabilia, including photographs, official programs, posters, T-shirts, even artist vinyl LPs. The Festival is building a collection in anticipation for the organization's 60th anniversary in 2029.
Hopefully folks have these things in their basement and they're willing to share it with us and share it with the larger community, right? Like you might have something that is really neat and you're like, whatever, I've had that for years. Doesn't mean everyone's seen that.
You can drop off the items at Festival du Voyageur's main office at 233 Provencher Boulevard. The exhibit will go on display this February.
Pretty cool. I'm looking forward to checking it out.
It will be nice, yeah.
All right, thanks, Colleen.
You're welcome. Beat the Midweek Blues with some great entertainment starting at 7 with Shifting Gears and Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage. And catch The Amazing Race at 8:30. It's all right here tonight on CTV. A live look out onto the St. James Bridge. Busy for folks heading southbound, lighter traffic for folks driving north. 6 in the city right now and cloudy, relatively light winds from the south. I will have your full forecast, including a look at Halloween coming up.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Despite a rapid-fire start from the Minnesota Wild, last night's Winnipeg Jets matchup shot into overtime.
Here comes Morrissey for Shifley. This is Kyle Connor. Shot scores!
Kyle Connor's goal broke the tie, thanks in part to Mark Shifley's pressuring the puck away from the Wild. Winnipeg won 4-3. The Jets now have a pair of home games to look forward to. Tomorrow, the Jets host Jonathan Tave's former team, the Chicago Blackhawks, at 7 o'clock at Canada Life Centre.
CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
All right, the countdown to Halloween is officially on, and
is.
Colleen has your creepy forecast.
It is going to be creepy. It's going to be cloudy. There's a slight chance. One model is very persistent. That is forecasting at least the possibility of rain, but even at that, it's a low chance. The other forecast models I'm looking at look like it's going to be dry, but everyone agrees it's going to be cloudy in the afternoon. We might get some sunshine. Speaking of which, we had some today, at least here in the southeast. That was nice after all that rain that came through over the last couple of days. Not so much yesterday, but of course that's soaking on Monday. Further east into northwestern Ontario, a little bit of light clouds starting to move into Kenora, but otherwise it's clear further to the south. Now there is a low pressure system that's heading our way. There it is right there. It's crossing Saskatchewan, bringing both rain and snow. It will make its way into Manitoba late this evening, so we could see some rain make its way to places like Dauphin, for example, by late tonight. Brandon too. Overnight, it'll start to stretch further eastward toward Winnipeg and the Red River Valley. There's a chance. Again, the models are really not agreeing on this one for the Winnipeg area for tomorrow. One model is pretty certain that we're going to see some showers come through. The others, not so much. But there are 2 opportunities for rain to come through, or more lighter showers in the morning. And then again, as we get into the afternoon, you can see the way this sort of spins around, or just sort of sits there, really more to the point. We may see some rain come through yet. But also there's the potential for some mixed precipitation too out in the southwest as we make our way into Friday, which is is Halloween. It's also the last day of October, if you can believe it. For tonight, after the sun, we're starting to see the cloud build up. It will be quite cloudy overnight. We stay above freezing at 2 degrees. Winds light this evening. They strengthen a little bit overnight to 15 kilometers an hour out of the south. Light south winds tomorrow most of the day. They will turn and come from the north late in the afternoon, but they stay light at about 10 kilometers an hour. So there's the possibility of showers reaching Winnipeg tomorrow. Otherwise, it will be cloudy with a high of 6 degrees. Taking us into the long range and to Halloween, we may even catch a little bit of sun in the morning. Otherwise, should be cloudy by the time trick-or-treaters are pounding the pavement in search of that tasty candy, up to 5 degrees. So choose a warm costume, kiddos. Mix of sun and cloud throughout the weekend, 6 on Saturday, 10 on Sunday. Beautiful day Sunday. Look at that. Monday, Tuesday, the sunshine continues, and so do those above normal temperatures. 9 degrees in the sun on Monday, 8 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday. Our first weather photo takes us out to the area north of Garson, Manitoba, and you can see the beautiful horse there. That photo is from Dory, and that gorgeous sky. Speaking of which, look at the gorgeous sky there over the water over at Stevenson Island up in the northeast part of the province. That photo is from Leanne. Send us your pics to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The CTV Skywatch Pick of the Day is brought to you by the Manitoba Chiropractors Association. We've got your back.
Well, as you just heard in Colleen's Skywatch forecast, Halloween is going to be a tad bit on the chilly side. So if your kids don't want to wear a winter coat over their costumes, you may want to try some indoor trick-or-treating events Friday night. Several malls and community centers around the city are offering a chance for parents and kids to have a safe and warm Halloween. Garden City Shopping Center, Grant Park Mall, Kildonan Place, St. Vital Center, and Outlet Collection Winnipeg are just some of the places hosting safe Halloween events. Retailers will be handing out candy along with all kinds of other fun activities that are planned. Also, East Elmwood and Weston Community Centers, as well as Mama Wichita Center, are hosting fun events. You may have to register ahead of time, though. You can find all of the information regarding all these events up on our website, including addresses and phone numbers. Just go to ctvwinnipeg.ca. Kids are starting to get excited.
That's right.
I've got to stop eating the candy at home, so there's some left for the kids.
Someone's going to bring it to work, or hopefully you do. Our newsroom behind us.
All right, on that note, we will leave you, but we will be back very quickly at 6 o'clock. Hope you'll join us then.